Happy 4th of July to my American audience. I'm going to be playing some GSC Overused, and I'm leading off Snorlax into Fortress here. My Snorlax, however, has Fire Blast, so it's actually pretty good to be on with Fortress here. As I hit the Fire Blast and I take it out in one hit. The good thing about having Fire Blast versus having a move like Flamethrower is even though Flamethrower has more PP, meaning you can use it more times, Fire Blast has that extra oomph to take out Pokemon like Fortress when Flamethrower sometimes doesn't take it out. Alright, he switches in Machamp. He's probably just going to go for a hard cross chop here. I mean, what else would he go for? So I'm just going to switch in my Tentacruel here as I can resist cross chop and I can just go for Rapid Spin. As he does have Earthquake. Machamp usually runs, like on curse sets like mine for example, usually runs coverage moves like Rock Slide and a Hidden Power, not Earthquake, so that's not super common, but because he no longer has a Spike Setter, my Tentacruel is pretty much useless as it fulfilled its job of removing spikes, so I'm just going to go for a Hydro Pump here. I'm either going to go for a Hydro Pump or a Screech. A Screech can force it out with another physical attacker, or Hydro Pump just gets the damage off. I'll just go for Hydro Pump. That did a lot less damage than I thought it was going to do, to be honest. Yeah, that did not do near as much damage as I thought it was going to do. Well, because he has, I'm just going to come in and go for Thunder here. Obviously, he can go for Rock Slide here, but Zapdos is pretty bulky. He switches in Blissey. I'm just going to go for Steelix. As he gets a crit hit with Ice Beam, that's very lucky. I'm just going to go for Rest here on his next Ice Beam. I'm debating if I should go for Iron Tail or Rest. I think I'm just going to go for Rest. As he opts to go Tyranitar. This Tyranitar probably has Fire Blast if he's sending it on a Steelix, so I'm just going to switch to Machamp here. As he goes Flamethrower. Fire Blast, Flamethrower, so yeah. I'm just going to go for a Curse as he switches in Gengar. Gengar doesn't have any move to take me out with one hit. I mean, it would be very annoying if he goes for like a Hypnosis and puts me to sleep, but I'm just going to go for Hidden Power Ghost here. As yeah, Psychic does not take me out. Unfortunately, even after a Curse, that Hidden Power didn't take him out. His Psychic did 50 damage, 50.01, so his next Psychic will take out my Machamp, so I'm just going to switch in Snorlax here. His Gengar's probably just going to go for Earthquake. I mean, not Earthquake, sorry. He's going to probably go for Explosion onto Snorlax. So I'm just going to switch out into Steelix, who will be able to eat up that explosion damage. And if he opts to stay in, we'll just plan accordingly as he decides to switch out into Machamp. I'm just going to go for Roar as he stays in and goes for Counter. This is a very interesting set. 4 attacks Machamp with Cross Chop, Counter, Earthquake, Rock Slide. I was able to waste 1 turn of Sleep. I'm not going to stay in because he's definitely going to go for Cross Chop here, so I'm just going to switch out to Zapdos. As yeah, I'm able to tank that very easily. I'm just going to go for a Thunder. I know he'll probably switch in Blissey, but if I'm able to get a Paralysis off, that'd be nice with Thunder here. As I'm not able to. I'm just going to... He's probably just going to go for Ice Beam, so I'm just going to switch into Machamp. No need to predict. So he goes Ice Beam. I have 298 speed to 208 speed. I really want to just go for a Cross Chop here to damage, well, take out Blissey. But I'm assuming he's probably going to switch into his Gengar here. So I'm just going to go for a Hidden Power Ghost. As he opts to stay in, and he gets a Freeze. That's really lucky. And yeah, I guess we were speed tied. I thought I outsped, but no, we're both 208 speed. Very unfortunate. I'm going to try to break through speed and hit him with a Cross Chop here as I'm stuck frozen, unfortunately. I have one more turn where I can speed tie and maybe outspeed and take him out with Cross Chop, so I'm just going to try, and now I get taken out. Not only did I get outsped 3 times with a speed tie, but I also got froze. That's very unfortunate. Because my Machamp wasn't just good against Blissey, he was also really good into Tyranitar. It's very unfortunate. I'm just going to go for a Curse here. Hope I I'll be able to wake up in one turn after this turn. So 2 turns of sleep means next turn I'll wake up. I'm just gonna switch into my Zapdos here. As he goes for counter. I'm just gonna switch in from here. I'm gonna switch in my Cloyster, as he's probably gonna switch in Blissey. I'm gonna go for Toxic on Blissey, as I miss. Of course I miss. Why wouldn't I miss? This is really terrible. I'm debating if I should go for a Spike and die, or if I should go for Explosion, or what I should do. I think my best bet's just switching out here. As yeah, he goes Gengar, so if I would have gone Explosion there, I would have lost my Cloyster for nothing. I'm just going to go for an Iron Tail because I wake up this turn, and Iron Tail should take out Gengar. As he goes for Ice Punch. I miss Iron Tail, of course I did. Why wouldn't I? I'm just going to go for another Iron Tail here. Because the good thing about Iron Tail is it does have that chance to drop defense stat, which could be useful into something like Machamp. I'm just going to switch to Zapdos here. Good thing I didn't switch in my Cloyster. I would have died to that Rock Slide, most likely. I'm just going to go for Thunder. I'm hoping luck goes my way, and one of these times I get a Paralysis or something on this annoying Blissey. I'm just going to go for another Thunder, and then I'm just going to rest. Depending how much damage Ice Beam does. Yeah, I'm just going to rest. I don't want to risk another freeze or anything. I'm going to go for one Sleep Talk. Nah, I'm going to switch out. I'm just going to go into my Snorlax here. I'm going to go for a Earthquake, predicting the switch into Gengar. As he goes Tyranitar, which still gets hit hard by Earthquake. So that was not a bad move at all. I'm just going to go for another Earthquake here, as he's probably just going to go for Rock Slide or Curse. Honestly, I am behind, which is annoying, but I'm breaking through his Tyranitar here. He went for Hidden Power. I wonder what Hidden Power that was. I have no idea. Hidden Power on Tyranitar is kind of rare. I wonder if it was like Hidden Power Bug or something. I look, you want to stay in and just go for Explosion on him, but Snorlax is really good into Blissey. And, the opponent's Snorlax. I also don't want to switch into Zapdos on Rock Slide, but I'm just going to switch into Zapdos. I think that's my best bet, as he misses Cross Chop. I'm just going to go for Sleep Talk and just hope I roll Thunder. I roll Hidden Power, which does very little. I'm going to go for another Sleep Talk. Thunder or Rest here would be good. Rest is good. So he goes Rock Slide. Oh, and he gets a nasty crit. I kind of have to stay in here because I can't risk Cross Chop on Steelix, and most of his moves would take Cloyster out. I really want to get, in the ideal world, I'd like to get a Spike Up with Cloyster and die, or even once his Gengar is dead, if I can utilize an Explosion on Blissey or Snorlax, I could probably win the game. As I get rest. The good thing about the upside to Rock Slide, though, is it can miss. So if I'm lucky, he could get a miss of Rock Slide, or I could get a Paralysis with Thunder. Either one of those two things would be very good for me, because a Paralysis would mean that I can outspeed with like Steelix or Snorlax after I'm dead, or obviously if he misses Rock Slide, that could help me break through. But neither of those things happen. The only Pokemon I have to outspeed his Machamp now is just my Cloyster, so I'm just going to go for a Surf here. As I can't, he's probably going to switch out, but if I go for a Spike here and he kills me, then he's threatening both my last Pokemon that I have left. Right here, he's just going to go for a Thunderbolt, but I'm going to get a Spike Up, which will make sure that Machamp can't come back in, because his Spike Remover is dead. So now Machamp is basically dead. Blissey's coming on spikes. Gengar's coming in on spikes. He has Ice Punch, Psychic. He probably has Thunderbolt and Explosion if I were to guess. I'm going to switch in Steelix, hoping he goes for Thunderbolt here, as he does, which means I take 0 damage. I'm just going to go for Roar here, as he's probably going to switch out, and if I can Roar in like Machamp to die to a Spike, that'd be really nice here. As I roll in Blissey, which isn't too bad. I'm Blissey, I'm just going to go for an Iron Tail, and hope I get that defense drop. I'm just going to go for another Iron Tail here, as he goes for Soft Boiled. It'd be really nice if I could get a defense drop. Please and thank you. Just going to go for another Iron Tail here. His Ice Beam did 24, so I can live another Ice Beam. So I'm just going to go for another Iron Tail here, as I miss. I'm just going to go for another Iron Tail here, and he gets a crit. Nice. His Blissey doesn't have much to hit my Snorlax, so I'm just going to come in with Snorlax and just go for an Earthquake here. As he decides to sack off Machamp, that's a smart play. That's what I would have done in his position too. As he goes Snorlax. See, in an ideal world, if I had one more Pokemon, I could trade Snorlax's, self-destruct on him, and then as far as the Gengar is concerned, though, his Gengar outspeeds my Cloyster, so I can't like explode on Blissey with Cloyster. So, I'm just gonna go Cloyster here and go for Toxic, trying to force a rest. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for Toxic here. As he goes for Double Edge. And here there's no need to predict. I'm just going to go Explosion. If he switches into Gengar, he switches into Gengar. He switches into Gengar. Oh well. I had to try to threaten his Snorlax there. That was really my best choice that I had left. I'm just going to go for Earthquake here, as he's probably just going to explode, and he gets a crit hit and takes me out. Very unfortunate. I think I played that game to the best of my abilities there. Luck was not on my side. Not just talking about that last crit, but there was a lot of scenarios like with the freeze and the crits with the ice beams. Like a lot just didn't go on that game. But oh well, we'll just get into the next one here. I am gonna switch up teams. Not that that team's bad, but just gonna switch up teams here. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go. I'm thinking either Belly Drum Lax or this team with Executor. I think I'm going to go with this Executor team here. Also, if you hear a lot of explosions in the background, you know, I'm posting this, as I said earlier, it's 4th of July, so there's a lot of fireworks going on. So, Executor into Raikou. I'm just going to go for Hidden Power Ice. If he puts me to sleep, I'll just Sleep Talk and go for Hidden Power Ice again. Lead Executor, he's probably going for either Sleep Powder or... I forget what the Paralysis power is called again. Sleep Powder or Stun Spore. Stun Spore, yep. So yeah, I'm just going to go for Hidden Power Ice. I'm just going to check my Executor set on this. So Leech Seed, Psychic, Giga Drain, Explosion. Got it. Just going to go Hidden Power Ice. The reason he's taking so much time is he's probably trying to think whether he wants to, if he does have a sleep move, he might be thinking if he should go for that or if he should switch out. Sometimes with Executor, especially lead Executor, you'll see a lot of like raw explosion, because if you think about it, you don't want to switch in. If you do have a Gengar on your team, you don't want to switch in a Gengar hard on Executor, because if he goes for Psychic, that's going to do a lot of damage. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but I'm just thinking he may be thinking like if he should go for raw explosion or go for Sleep Powder here. I hope he's here, like he comes back in the game. I don't want this to just be like a forfeit match, especially while I'm recording. I'll type in a little good luck, have fun for encouragement here. Hopefully that encourages them to take his turn. But yeah, well, while we're waiting for him to take his turn, this team is double electric with offensive Zapdos, Curse Snorlax, standard Cloyster set, Rapid Spin Golem, and then a Leech Seed Executor. Alright, well, he disconnected. GG's, I guess. Excuse me, had the burps a little bit. Alright, we'll just run right into the next game then. I wonder how much you can hear those explosions of like the fireworks outside. Because on my end, they're pretty loud, but I have my audio hooked up to my computer, so it's mainly just getting the audio like nearest to it of me talking. So you might not be able to hear it, but trust me, they're pretty loud. A little distracting. Not like super distracting, but definitely a little distracting. You were young, you're free. Why can't you be with me? You were young, you're free. All right, back into the next game here. Zapdos into Raikou is a great lead for me. I'm just going to go for a Thunder as he switches into Nidoking. He's probably going to go for a Earthquake, so I'm just going to switch into Cloyster instead of Spike Up. As he goes for Lovely Kiss, puts me to sleep. That's the worst thing that could have possibly happened. I'm just going to go for a Spike still, hoping I wake up. I don't wake up. I'm just going to switch out because he's threatening me with a Thunder, so I'm just going to go for my Zapdos and just go for Hidden Power Water here. As Thunder's not going to do much damage. Yeah, I'm just going to try to get an attack off on his Nidoking. Hopefully it's not counter. And I'm frozen. Great. Couldn't be better. Yeah, I'm just going to die here. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I'm a frozen Zapdos. I'm dead in the water. Great. Off to a great start. My Cloyster's asleep and probably going to be dead if I don't wake up. And I don't wake up. Great. What a lovely game I'm having here. And my Snorlax is paralyzed. Alright, we're just going to get into the next one here. There's no coming back from all that. Like, frozen, dead, put to sleep, can't get spikes up. My win condition's paralyzed. We're good. That's all she wrote for that one. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do. And that was part of the nothing you can do thing. You were young, you were free. Alright, Shuckle versus Executor. I'm just going to go for Thief here. As he goes for Toxic. I'm just going to go for Fortress, get some spikes up. As he goes for Curse. Just going to get Spike up. You can go for Marowak here. So he goes for Thunderbolt, probably predicting. I don't even know what you're predicting going for Thunderbolt there. I didn't reveal having a Cloyster. I'm just going for Ancient Power, trying to get an Omni Boost here. as I can just rest off all that damage from his Snorlax. He doesn't have leftovers, which is very strange not having leftovers on Snorlax, so I have no idea what move he's running. Hope I roll Earthquake, he'll be dead. Ah, come on. Alright, well I wake up this turn, so I'm just going to go for Rust. She goes, holy shoot, that did a lot. Alright, come on, go for Earthquake. There we go. That took a while. At least his Snorlax is dead and has a spike, and I have a spike up. That's worth all of Marowak's HP in my opinion. I don't have Pursuit Tar, but I can LARP like I have Pursuit Tar, so I'm just going to switch into Tyranitar. And he's probably fearing Pursuit, so he might stay in, and I'm just going to go for Earthquake here. That's my thought process. He switches into Shuckle. His Shuckle doesn't have leftovers, which is good. I'm just going to go for a Fire Blast here. Holy shoot, that did nothing. Shuckle's toxic, 2 of my Pokemon at this point. How much did Fire Blast do? Only 20? Holy shoot. How much did Earthquake do? Okay, Earthquake did slightly more. You know, I'm going to go for the flinch. I'm going to go for Rock Slide. He goes for Protect. Protect, Toxic, Curse. I'm just going to go to Marowak here. See a Sludge Bomb. Interesting. I wonder why you have Sludge Bomb if you have Toxic. That's kind of odd. I went for Sleep Talk. Hopefully I roll Earthquake because that Gengar will be dead. Unfortunately, I do not roll Earthquake. I have to switch out because Giga Drain would kill me. I'm just going to switch into my Fortress here. I'm going to try to see if he has Fire Punch. So I'm going to pivot out into a Pokemon that wouldn't care about being Fire Punch, like my Zapdos here. As he does have Fire Punch. That's good information to know. I'm just going to go for Thunder. As he's Substitute. Interesting. I'm just going to go for Hidden Power Ice. As he goes for Fire Punch. Umbreon. I'm just going to go for Thunder on Umbreon here. Get a Paralysis, which is nice. So he goes for Bite. I'm just going to switch into my, because he's paralyzed, I'm just going to switch into my Marowak here and try to heal up as he goes for Psychic. Interesting. I wake up this turn, so I'm just going to go for Rest as I'm faster because he's paralyzed. You know, for this team that would like speed control with Thunder is nice for my Marowak, but unfortunately I don't have Stun Spore on this Executor's Thief. Thief's pretty common for the lead slot though. I'm just going to go for Sleep Talk here. I've used Ancient Power so many times, I hope I get an Omni Boost one of these times. Ooh, Curse, Psychic, Bite. That's interesting because Bite and Psychic are special moves and yet you're cursing. Probably just for the defense boost to like stall. I got Rest, unfortunate. I mean, I can break through. If I get like one Omni Boost, or even just a crit hit with Earthquake, would be nice. Alright, I'm going to go for one more Sleep Talk, as long as I don't roll Rest. That's ideal. As he goes Baton, oh, your Baton Pass, so that's what we're doing here. Yeah, I'm just going to go for Ancient Power, just in case I get a boost. Ancient Power. As your Steel Wing. Alright, I'm just going to switch in. Enough of this nonsense. I'm just going to switch into my Zapdos here and go for a Thunder. Oh, holy cow, that did a lot. I mean, it was a crit, but holy cow. Yeah, I'm just going to go for Thunder. No need to predict. Yeah, you're dead. I don't know why he stayed in there. That was pretty dumb. Just going to go for a Thunder here. This is like the first game I've actually been hitting these. Yeah, that was probably Hidden Power Fighting. Yeah, I'm just going to spam Thunder. I mean, no need to go for Rest. I'm going to take these guys out. Yeah, and I win that game there. GG. You know, I'm switching up this team here. This instead of having Thief, I'm just going to go Leftovers. I'm just going to go for a Stun Spore. Just because this team likes Paralysis, because Paralysis enables Marowak to do a lot better. So yeah, just switching up this move real quick. Because the other moves I like the Fortress with Hidden Power Ghost makes sense because, you know, Gengar switching in to block Rapid Spin and Fortress my Rapid Spin. Like, especially having Hidden Power Ghost because my Tyranitar set isn't a Pursuit Tyranitar. Oh, undo delete. Whoops. Yeah. I mean, this set's, yeah, this 3-attack Roar is pretty nice as a phaser. It's the only phaser on my team. I mean, think about taking off Fire Blast for Pursuit, but I don't have Fire Blast on Lax, so yeah, like, this team's good. I just think, you know, Stun Spore would be better utilized than Thief. Thief has its uses, don't get me wrong, but I think Stun Spore just does its job a little better. Alright, back at it with another game. I switched out Thief for Stun Spore. So I'm just going to go for Stun Spore here. I miss. Unfortunate. I'm just going to go for it again. And I miss again. Great, 75% accurate move. I miss it twice. Now I'm forced to switch out because I'll die to the next 10 power. Excuse me. I'm going to just hard switch in my Executor. I'm trying to get some value out of this Executor. I'm going to go for a Giga Drain here. I need the health. You know, actually, I'm going Stun Spore. He's probably just going to go back into Zapdos. I'm going to go Stun Spore. I got to hit it on someone. Alright, at least I got a Stun Spore off. I'm just going to go for Explosion. Yeah. At least I got value out of Executor because I missed like 2 or 3 Stun Spores on Zapdos, which is so frustrating, but now his Snorlax is basically as good as dead. I'm just going to switch in my Marowak. I'm going to go Ancient Power. If he switches in Zapdos or Cloyster, I'll get some value. He just decides to stay in and die, which is pretty dumb. I try to, you know, I mean, he was paralyzed and low health, but if you play the game right and you're able to get in against another paralyzed or asleep Pokemon, you could have rested up. He's just going to go for Spikes, so I'm just going to get up Spikes of my own with my Fortress here. And this kind of team, he's probably not Rapid Spin. And he might also think I'm threatening a Toxic, but I don't have Toxic on this. I have Rapid Spin, Hidden Power, and Explosion, but he doesn't know that. Just going to switch into my own Zapdos here. As I get hit by Thunder. Ooh. Yikes. I'm just going to go for Rest. As he goes Nidoking. Well, at least we know it's not Thief, because it has Leftovers. I'm just going to switch into Fortress here. Go for Rapid Spin. I mean, he might have a Fire move. He might have Flamethrowers. So, I might try to read that. Yeah, I'm going to see if he has Flamethrower. I'll switch into Marowak here. See if he has a Fire move. He has Lovely Kiss. Good news is I'm Sleep Talk, so that's a good sleep sack for Nidoking. But because he went for Lovely Kiss, he probably doesn't have Flamethrower. He probably has Earthquake. And then, I don't know, maybe Thunder or Thunderbolt. I'm just going to go for Rapid Spin here. Yeah, he switches out. So he definitely doesn't have a Fire move. So he has Lovely Kiss, Ice Beam, probably Earthquake, and then Electric move if I were to guess. Just going to switch into Marowak here and go for Sleep Talk. Because he doesn't know I have Sleep Talk on this set, so he's probably thinking I'm just trying to burn Sleep turns. Because mostly Marowak on most teams, obviously not this one, most teams that's like a Sword Stance, Earthquake, a Rock move, and then a Hidden Power. How much did his Hidden Power do against me? 44, so, you know, I won't live the next one. Unless it's a low roll. So I'm just going to I'm just going to switch into Tyranitar here, hoping he goes for a Hidden Power as he does. I want to go for Rock Slide, but he's probably going to switch in Nidoking, so I think I'm just going to go for Roar. Hopefully I can phase, yeah, as I'm able to phase Cloyster out for his own Tyranitar here. I'll just go for Earthquake as he goes for Earthquake. I'm just going to go for Earthquake, hoping to outspeed. As I do outspeed, I'm just going to go for Rock Slide if he decides to switch out, because Rock Slide would kill him. Okay, he outspeeds. So 220 speed. Yeah, I kind of have to go Zapdos here and just hope I get Hidden Power or Thunder to take him out. Ooh, Hidden Power falls short. Yikes. Alright, well, I'm basically forced to try to take him out again. I don't have much of a choice in that, as I take him out with Thunder. I do wake up next turn, though, so I can rest, which is good. Yeah, I'm just going to rest on Nidoking here. He can't Lovely Kiss me because he put Marowak to sleep, so I'm just going to go for rest. This uses Ice Beam. I'm going to switch to my Fortress here. I'm just going to go for an Explosion. I don't have much use for my Fortress anymore, and I can probably keep Spikes off fairly well against Cloyster. As he goes for Thunder. Go for Explosion, take out his Nidoking. His Nidoking was really annoying to my team, so that was worth it to take him out. I'm going to switch in Zapdos here. If he tries to go to Cloyster and set up Spikes, I can, I have Zapdos, so I'm just going to go for Sleep Talk here as he goes for HP Ice. He's going for HP Ice instead of Thunder, even though Thunder would do some more damage because HP Ice can hit my Marowak. Just going to go for another Sleep Talk. Yikes. Yeah, okay, good. We got Rest. That's the best thing we could have gotten in that scenario. Sleep Talk. Thunder. Come on. I could really use a Parry or a crit. That'd be nice. I'd probably win the game if I got a Parry or a crit, to be honest, because his Cloyster isn't going to be able to do much to me. I'm just going to go for Thunder because I wake up this turn. Alright, I'm going to go for Hidden Power Ice. Hidden Power Ice will be able to take him out. Nice. Yeah, Cloyster dies to a Thunder. If he switches in Snorlax, I'll just switch out. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, his Snorlax is already dead. Duh, I'm dumb. I forgot that I took out his Snorlax earlier in the game. I'm just going to go for Rest here. Barely live Ice Punch. Get a Rest off. I'm going to just Sleep Talk and hope I roll Thunder here. As I do. And I get the Paralysis. Perfect. Finally got a pair. So I'm just going to go for Sleep Talk again as I outspeed. If I get Thunder, I just basically win the game. I got a crit to rub Insult into Injury, but even without the crit, it would have killed. I wake up this turn, so I'm just going to go Thunder. No need to predict. I wake up. As long as I hit it, he's dead. I miss. Yeah, I can take another Surf, though, so I'm just going to go for another Thunder. Because worst comes to worst, I can just switch in him as he's dead. Alright, GG's. I hope you enjoyed this 4th of July special. I gave you guys more games today. I was feeling the holiday spirit, if you will. And if you like this content, feel free to like and subscribe. And feel free to leave comments if you want to leave comments about the gameplay, or if you want to leave comments about maybe other gens you want to see, like if you want to see more ADV content that I've been posting some content for that, let me know. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed your holiday, and that's all I have for you.